Hey everyone, buckle up. It's that time, and let's talk about some of those C2E2 exclusive variants that everyone's going crazy over and some of the other comic books. Hey, it's Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd. We're back taking a look at the top lists out there and picking the 5 worst investments on those lists, in my opinion, and I go over the reasons why. I do talk a little bit about the C2E2 stuff. There were hundreds of exclusives for C2E2 this year, a lot of exclusive variants. Some were very cool. Most I felt were overpriced, and there's one I'm going to talk about on the list, but that's kind of my general feeling about most of those. If you love the cover, great. I wouldn't overpay for them thinking that they're going to be investment opportunities for most of them, although some will certainly do well. It's really hard to predict which ones will hold value over time, and many will drop just like a brand new car you drove off the lot. So without further ado, I guess we should actually start talking about the list. And at number 5, we have this Monsters 1 fourth print C2E2 exclusive variant from Mark Spears, where he's done a lot of really cool covers for the Monster series. Those are some of his covers I enjoy the most. My particular point of contention with this one is it's not that good of a cover. I talked about one of his covers recently, Green Lantern 1, the 1 in 25 variant. This is very similar. If you look at her face, I mean, she's an ugly witch. It's not like this is a hot lady cover. She's very much a wicked witch. It's a very, like, his backgrounds, I feel like there's usually more color, more separation, more pop. None of that's really present here. This really more reminds me of like a bad Halloween costume than anything else. And, this cover, I think it was a little bit harder to get. I could be completely wrong on the value of this, but my guess is you're going to spend about $200 or so right now, $150, $200 maybe, to go find this book. If you go out and buy this book right now, I can't think that it's going to climb when there's so many Mark Spears books that people want to be trying to pick up, like First Prince of Monsters #1, for example, some of those other covers. I can't imagine this one holding value. I know Mark Spears is a god and can do no wrong, and a lot of his stuff is really great. I disagree with this one, though. Okay, at number 4, let's talk about Secret Wars and Incursions again. We've already talked about this with Avengers 33 before. Now Secret Wars #1 landed on one of the hot lists because of the 616 incursion happening in this issue, and it kicks off the Secret Wars series, which obviously is going to be definitely a point that's going to happen over the Russo brothers films, where we're going to explore this event. But no one's going to care. After Doomsday, after the incursions happen, after we get Secret Wars, you're telling me anybody's going to care about this particular issue? I really don't think so. The whole set, yeah, people might care about the whole set. They might want to collect all the issues, but I don't think this particular issue is going to hold much value after Secret Wars takes place. It's one of those books that's really neat to find in a dollar bin if you find it, and maybe you want to flip it, or maybe you want to add it to your collection. Great. I'm not going to go out and overspend for it. All right, at number 3, let's talk about Amazing Spider-Man Annual 21. This is an interesting one, and I think the only reason this would be popping up right now is because of the Mary Jane Venom stuff. I don't know why else it would, really. This book is perpetually a minor key. You find it all the time for 10, 15, maybe $20. This book isn't going anywhere. There were a lot of them out there. It's a classic book. I think, most Spider-Man collectors probably want this in their collection. I think most Spider-Man collectors probably already have this in their collection. But there's people that want to add it for sure. I don't see this book ever outpacing the price that it's going for right now. If you ever want to buy it, please wait till it's a couple months off of the hot list and then go on down a copy of it, instead of people being like, oh, I might want to go pick that up right now. It's just going to increase the interest. People are going to hop on eBay. They're going to buy the few copies that are up there right now. And then more people are going to load copies up. Once those stop selling, swoop in, make an offer, pick one up, or find one at your local comic book shop. At number 2, we talked about White Rabbit before, and I guess, hey, maybe this is appropriate with Easter on the horizon here coming up in the next week. This is Dark Knight #3, or The Dark Knight #3. This is a David Finch cover. It's a cool cover. I actually really like the cover. It's appropriate for this season, but really the reason this is going to become a collector's item, according to Key Collector and a few other lists that this appeared on, actually, is because it's the cover appearance of White Rabbit, and she's going to be a character in Peacemaker Season 2. I've talked about this before. I don't see there being much to this character, as far as we're not going to really care about her probably beyond the season. She's probably a season character, like for just that one season. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she becomes a fan favorite, but Vigilante did too, and his books aren't worth very much. So I really don't think there's going to be much with this one. It is kind of a fun Easter cover. I will give it that. If you find it for a couple bucks, great. If you're going to go out and pick it up right now for 15, 20 bucks or whatever it's going for, I'd hold off and wait for it to drop back down. In the number one spot, let's talk about all new Venom number one. So last week we talked about all new Venom number 5, where we had the secret variant by Clayton Crane, where we get to see who becomes the all new Venom, and that's Mary Jane. This was the first appearance of the character when people started speculating about who that character was. And I am holding strong to my opinion that people are not very happy about this reveal and who she is and the direction this is going to go. Your comments let me know that. Why are people going to care about the character's first appearance if they don't care about the reveal of who the character is, when that was most of the fun of who's going to be the new Venom? Well, it's Mary Jane. So now it's up to Marvel to knock that out of the park if this book is something we're supposed to care about. And whether they knock it out of the park or not, I feel like most speculators are sour on this type of stuff and will treat this book accordingly in the long run. On top of that, I guarantee you a lot of people already have this book that wanted it or will want it because they're Venom fans, and that's just how this works. Venom fans will probably pre-order the book. People who might be Mary Jane fans, on the other hand, might be interested in picking up this book, but I don't think there's a lot of those out there to justify a sustained price increase on this particular comic book. So that's the list for this week. What did you think about it? Please let me know about my selections down in the comments. Are there any books you would have added to the list, or any books that you disagree with being on the list? I want to hear about that. I also really want to take a second to shout out and thank my channel members whose names are going to be scrolling by on the screen right now, and all the support they give me. Thank you so much for that. Folks, if you want to hear like kind of more of a live format show, I definitely recommend checking out Best Coast Comics, where myself and Big B McFly talk about all the latest happenings in comic books, and we talk about a new topic each week. It's kind of our podcast show we do every Monday night. That's Best Coast Comics at 8 p.m. Pacific. Also, if you're curious about how this list is made and kind of my opinion on all the books on the hot list, there will be a video dropping very soon where I go over all the lists that generated this particular video I made. That should drop probably tomorrow, the day after this video comes out, or pretty soon after that. And if you're interested in checking that out, I highly recommend it. It's a little bit extra content, kind of a bonus feature to this video. So hopefully you like that. And if there's any other topics you want to hear me talk about, let me know in those comments. Thank you so much, everybody. Until the next one, I just want to remind you, as always, hey, read comics every day.